Alright, welcome. So today we have Osiris here. He has been requested to do an updated build video for Season 3. So let's jump right to it, starting with Conquest and Starter Items. Now for Osiris, you can go into two different starter items. You can go into Death's Toll, which is the most popular one. Reason why it's pretty popular for Osiris, in case if you do not know, Osiris is a pretty basic attack heavy warrior. As well as another big point to Osiris is his attack progression. The last two attacks hit all enemies in the melee area, meaning once you do this, you can hit multiple enemies, meaning that you can proc the Death's Toll's passive multiple times, and you can get a nice little boost of health and mana back. Bluestone Pennant, you can go into it, allows you to do, allows your first and second ability to do a little bit more burst damage if that's your goal, but majority of the time you're probably going to Death's Toll. Next, go into Boots. Again, you have two different options here. Warrior Tabby offers more physical power, meaning once you actually hit somebody with your basic attacks, it would do more damage, your abilities would do more damage. Or you could go into Ninja Tabby, costs a little bit less, gives you a little bit less physical power. However, the attack speed will allow you to proc the Death's Toll's passive quicker, since you're attacking faster ideally. As well as when you go ahead and pick up Kin Size or Shin Size, however you want to pronounce it, you can actually proc the passive of this item a lot quicker, which is really good. So you can go to either or. Some people might start with Warrior Tabby. Once they have their full entire build done, they might go back and sell this for Ninja Tabby. The choice is yours. For now, I'm just going to go into Warrior Tabby. Again, both are fine. Both have their own, pros and cons. Moving on from here. Now, if you are playing Osiris in the solo lane, majority of the time you're fighting against another physical god. In this case, it's pretty common to rush straight into a physical protection item. And one of the most popular ones for pretty much all the warriors is going into the Breastplate of Valor. It's pretty cheap, it gives you a lot of physical protection as well as giving you the nice advantage of mana and cooldown reduction. You may wonder, is cooldown reduction pretty viable for Osiris? And it definitely is. If you do not know, his passive works directly off of abilities. So once you use an ability, he burns away a fragment of his body. Once you do this 8 times, he becomes his spirit form in which he can walk through enemies, he can go through enemy blockers. Also, his basic attacks do not incur a movement penalty, meaning you have a free haste Vitalis effect without even having to buy the actual item, which this is a very nice bonus for gods in which they are very basic attack dependent. And this of course only lasts for 6 successful basic attacks. So if you want to proc your passive a lot more often, cooldown reduction definitely can help you out there. So let's go back into the build here. So we're going to go into Breastplate of Valor. Can you go into another protection item instead of this? Of course, you can maybe go to Hidden Minion Lion in the case of you're fighting against a god that's very basic attack dependent. And of course, they're also physical. You can go into that as your option. Or if you want a protection item that helps you against both physical and magical, you can go into Hide the Urchin. It costs 100 more gold, has no cooldown reduction, but it gives you protection for both physical and magical, gives you nice health and mana. And another benefit, if you do pick this item up early, you can get your stacks rolling, a lot sooner. Or if you don't want to go into that, there's other options too, maybe Mantle Discord if you have a really huge lead, because it costs a lot. Or in the case if you're fighting against a magical god, then you can go into the what's seen as the Breastplate of Valor equivalent for magical protection, and that is Genji's Guard. Again, it's really cheap, a lot of magic protection, and gives you cooldown reduction. If you don't want to go into that, you can go Borg of Hope, another good option. Or if you're fighting against a magical healer, then you definitely want to go into Pestilence. But regardless, let's just go into Breastplate of Valor for now. But back to the build here, so you can go into a couple different items after your Breastplate of Valor. For one, you can go to Frostbound Hammer, or you can go to Kins. In the end, you're going to end up with probably both of these items. Both of these items are really good for Osiris. But let's go into Frostbound Hammer right after Breastplate of Valor. A couple reasons why this item is so good on Osiris is his abilities don't do a whole lot of damage, and his overall kit leads you to do a lot of basic attacking. And what's best for basic attack oriented gods is definitely a Frostbound Hammer. So not only will you have slows in your kit, and not only will you have a free haste Vitalis effect from your passive once it's procced, you also have Frostbound Hammer, so that will allow you to slow your enemies even further, and also reduce their attack speed in case if they try fighting back. As well as it does provide you with 300 health, which is perfect considering Breastplate of Valor obviously has no health. It has all its protection, but it has no HP. Frostbite Hammer does. So after this, let's just go into Kins. It's a really great item for basic attack oriented gods. It does so much. It gives you such a huge power spike from going from Balanced Blade. Once you pick this up, your basic attacks are just going to be swinging. And then to finish it off, you definitely want to have some type of magical protection item on you, or else you're going to get blown up. Even though you can use your 3 to your advantage when fighting mages, because it gives you, it just makes you overall a lot tankier. So as far as a magical protection item, I would highly recommend picking up either Borg of Hope, or you can go to a item that has both. You can go into Mantle Discord for further cooldown reduction. So that's going to wrap it up for this build video. Hopefully it was helpful, and I'll see you guys next time. If you have any further questions, let me know in the comment section below. Peace.